Hi everyone, this is the assessment brief and outline for the first assignment we're doing for Global Business Environment. In this video I'm going to briefly go through the main elements of the assignment and what we need to do to undertake it successfully. So the first component or the first assignment you need to do is a group video presentation of about 10 minutes in length. It needs to be submitted via My Beckett. So it's not particularly onerous. It's a group piece of work, so you'll all be assigned the same mark from doing it. And it's a video which you can do in your own time as a group without the pressure of delivering it in front of a class or something. For this assignment, you need to be in a group of about 4 to 5 people. I'm not going to say any bigger than that because otherwise suddenly there's lots of opportunity for people to kind of hide in groups and not do any work for that. If you're having less than that, then really kind of trying to do a lot more work. So 4 to 5 is about optimum. You'll be asked to put yourselves into groups this week in the seminars if you haven't done already. And if you're not in a group by the end of week 5, then your seminar tutor will speak to you and may put you in a group with other people. We'll sort of pull people together who are outliers in terms of the whole cohort. If you have a reasonable adjustment plan in place, and I've spoken to our administrators about this, then just mention that to your seminar tutor quietly or to myself. Email me by all means, and we can discuss what your conditions are and how we need to therefore go about doing the assignment. But otherwise, in class, you should still be working in groups, contributing and kind of working on these exercises throughout the next couple of weeks. So what do you have to do? You must work together to prepare and record a 10-minute presentation. That can be done like I'm doing this one on PowerPoint very simply. It needs to have everybody in the group contributing to it in order for everyone to get a mark. If somebody doesn't contribute, then they won't get a mark. I think the important thing is therefore that making sure that we know who's in each group, and I'll be posting a Microsoft Forms form for you to complete to let me know who's in each group. The presentation can be recorded however you want. I do these using PowerPoint, but people have used Canva, they've used other video editing software or other presentation software, and that's absolutely fine. But whatever format it is, it must be uploaded to the module page for us to be able to mark it and then give you feedback on that. The deadline is the end of week 7. And week 7 is our consolidation week, a kind of a pause during the semester, where you get a week off from lectures and seminars and you can catch up on work, and this is one of the pieces of work you need to do during that week. The upload link for the presentation will be live from the 1st of November until the 8th of November, so you have that week to submit the piece of work. Obviously, if you need to apply for mitigating circumstances or there's an issue regarding your group or something happens which means you can't upload it by the 8th of November, then make sure you apply for that through MyHub or through the admin office ahead of time and give enough time to allow the mitigating circumstances application to go through. Just to make it really clear, module leaders, myself and the tutors in seminars can't grant any extensions to work. It's not possible for us to do that. So you must apply through the office to be able to have that be valid. If you have any queries, I have put a discussion forum onto the module page. That's accessible on the top of the black menu bar at the side of the module page. So please post your queries on the discussion forum. Obviously, ask questions in your seminars as well. I'm also happy to answer any questions openly in the lecture on Thursdays and share them for everybody. Whatever you do though, please don't ask questions at the last minute. If you leave things till late, I won't be able to get back to you in time to be able to make a difference in terms of your work. Most seminar tutors and lecturers try to give a 48-hour turnaround for any queries, regardless of when it is. But there are times when that's quite difficult to meet, and sometimes we'll be faster, sometimes we might be a little bit slower. So I don't want you to be waiting for a question or an answer, and having it hanging out there for a long period of time. What is the assignment about? So you'll need to work with your group on a presentation where you reflect on the main points from one of the applied cases from weeks 4, 5 and 6 of the module. These weeks are where we are looking at specific issues regarding economics and global business environments. We're starting to work a little bit with them and asking questions of those different situations. And I would like you to give a presentation where you reflect on those points. The module handbook has certain questions which I'd like to think about, and I'll be going through those questions each week in the lecture and in the seminar. Just to note that this is asking you to reflect on those points and give a little bit of analysis of them, not just describe them. I don't want you just giving me my lecture back to me. I want you to be thinking a little bit more about them and kind of using the points and using the principles we're talking about in your presentation. There's going to be a simple presentation template available. I'll post that on the module page under the assignments tab. And that's just going to be a simple PowerPoint presentation outline with the basic points, the basic slide outline on it. In essence though, that will contain, and your presentation that you do should contain, a title slide with names and student numbers on it. Make it very obvious as to who is actually contributing to the work. You should have one slide per group member, so you've got one person per group per slide actually kind of developing that material, contributing to it and presenting that work. Ideally, you therefore have one major point per slide, so there should be 4 or 5 main points, and obviously each person takes one of those points, each person fleshes it out, and therefore they'll talk about that in that section of the presentation. No references are necessarily needed in the slide text. This is about getting your opinion across, getting your group's opinion and reflection across, what you think and believe about the topic. I would have, if you have any references to give, put them in a slide right at the end of the slide set, right at the end of the presentation. Therefore, for a 4-person group, you'll have sort of 5 slides, maybe 6 slides in total if you have a reference slide as well. So as a very general guide, week 4, markets, we're talking about some of the main purpose and role of governments and looking after markets. What's their purpose in the terms of the economy, how that links to what markets do, what some limitations are as well. For week 5 in globalization, we're talking a little bit about the winners and losers of globalization, who's really won big, who maybe has struggled in the kind of the global race. Why has that been the case? For week 6, we're looking at economic development more broadly, and more specifically, we're going to talk about the BRICS countries. And we're talking about a little bit more about how the global economic landscape is changing, and how historically we've had a sort of the first industrial nations, the European nations, America and so on, they're actually being superseded to an extent by some other countries around the world. Okay, so when you've made your video presentation, however you're going to do that, I'll talk about 3 different options for doing that here in a second. You need to upload it via the module page. On the black sidebar, there is an assessment link which you can follow, and under there will be an assignment 1 presentation highlighted, which you can kind of go to. You go to that section, you use the upload files link, you upload your file that you've prepared, and you press submit. When you press submit, you should get a verification on the web page and potentially as well via email to make sure you know you've submitted it. So, as it's going to be consolidation week, and not all of you may be in Leeds that week or geographically together, one option for you could be to run a meeting using Teams. You should all have access to Microsoft Teams and be able to run meetings as groups. If not, your tutor should be able to help you facilitate that. And in essence, you're able to set up a meeting, invite different people to it, as I'm doing so on the screen here. Add more people to the actual meeting. Join now. it starts up, add participants so you can share the meeting link as well. You can then go to the share icon on the top bar and you can put your PowerPoint presentation on the screen, start recording the screen, start recording your meeting, and as transcription also appears as part of that. You can add people, obviously, as I'm showing you here on the screen as well. Now when you've done all that, it's quite quick to then actually download the transcript, the video you've done, by looking at the chat for the meeting. And that then gives you a link through to Streams, which actually lets you then download the recording, and you're able to then upload that recording as your presentation. I'll post this little video I'm showing here more completely on the video on the web page for you. The next option is to record the video and voiceover into PowerPoint, and that's what I'm doing with this set of slides right now. I'm running PowerPoint, I'm showing the presentation, I've hit record. It lets me do a voiceover or a video presentation as well. You can do it per slide if you wish to. So for instance, if you share the link to a single file, different people can log in, add their slide to it, and then upload their, or add their voiceover to that section as well. Bearing in mind that you'll have probably about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes each to actually record as part of your voiceover. When you've done that, you can then export the whole presentation as an MP4 or upload it as the whole PPT with the voiceover attached through to the My Beckett page. Finally, maybe the easiest option of all is to meet physically together, if you can do, and record your presentation either using the university computers or your own computer as well. You can record the PowerPoint presentation slides and your video and your voiceover all together as one using Panopto. I'll put a link here on the screen to the guidance from Panopto as to how to do that. As Leeds Beckett students, you will have a Panopto account, so you can log into Panopto using your Leeds Beckett identification. So that's maybe the easiest way to do it. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Please bear in mind that if any queries, post them onto the module discussion forum, ask in seminars, or ask me in a lecture on Thursdays. Thank you.